recording now. So perfect. So hi everyone, I'm here with Ingrid. Today we're going to take a look at her mission statement. She has created her course and feels maybe that she's been doing things a bit backward. So now we're going to take a look at it and see if we can figure things out. So Ingrid, first of all, can you share with me what would constitute a productive session here? How would you like this to end up?
Good question. So David, I have gone through some of your videos already to understand mission, problem, and solution, result, etc. What would be a great outcome for me is, if possible, to have clarity about my mission, so that I can start building. What I'd like is clarity on mission. Try and understand what is it that I am solving, because I've as I created the course, I'm not sure that I'm clear on the problem that I've solved in the course. I've just gone for women that are unclear, and I don't know that I've got something tangible. So possibly clarification of the problem, solution, and mission. Good luck. That's a lot.
Perfect. So at the end of the session, I'm going to ask you what your mission statement is, and hopefully it'll feel clearer for you. And we're going to get a better understanding of the problem. That's what we're going to focus on.
Thank you. Yeah.
Perfect. Brilliant. So what is your current mission statement?
Yeah, I have, my mission is to inspire and enable change so that people can live their better lives, or to feel empowered, free, and worthy.
Okay, 1 second. Inspire and enable change so that people can live their lives. And then you also had an alternative for...
Yeah, and to feel empowered, free, and worthy or valued. I'm going to add another thing in there. And it was to be able to lead themselves or others.
Okay, so now we're talking about the problem again.
Okay.
So your current mission statement is you help people inspire, enable change so that they can live their better lives, or to feel empowered, free, and worthy and valued. And then you had an alternative for the problem. So instead of inspire and enable change, you had something else in mind as well. What was that?
It was about being able to lead themselves and others.
Okay. So we have two alternatives for the problem and two alternatives for the end result.
Okay.
So let's just 1 second. Let's make this. Actually, I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm doing at the same time, and that would make more sense. I hope it's not too small.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Current missions. So I can understand why you feel this might not be tangible enough.
Yeah.
Because it isn't.
It's so fluffy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. No worries. Okay, so I see that both the problem and the result is too unclear.
Yeah.
Actually, the result might be okay. It depends on what we end up with the problem. The problem is the main bottleneck here.
Yeah.
So, and that you help people, that's completely fine. If the problem is clear and specific enough, then people are gonna be, okay, well, I have that problem, that's for me. But if the problem is too vague, then the avatar, the who, has to be clearer. But I prefer, and I recommend you to focus on having a really, really clear problem. And then the result and the who can be fluffy, and it's still gonna work, and it might even be better.
Okay.
So let's focus on the problem then.
Mm.
Inspire and enable change
Mm.
in what field, in what way, what is it exactly that you what is it exactly that they're doing?
And this is the confusing bit, because I've gone, so I've recently created a product, and I targeted at women of 45 who are stuck in life. It's the real typical coach approach, and who have no clarity, have no direction, have no confidence. Then I'm trying to be clever because I have, I do leadership training, and I wondered whether there was a possibility that I could capture the leaders that have problems of understanding themselves, because they might be newly promoted, but they don't know how to lead themselves, and they don't have confidence within themselves. They don't value themselves enough to be able to lead a team. So I was trying to be really clever and try and bring that all together. And that's why I reached out to you, because I'm not sure that those audiences are the same. In fact, I guess what I'd like to do is try and identify what is the problem, so that I can reach a corporate audience and a general audience.
Okay. Whenever we are working with a mission statement, it's we want to figure out what is the actual problem and what is the result. So for instance, it could be, I help people lead themselves so that they have the confidence in life to achieve their goals, for instance.
Got you.
Yeah, right. So and we can always turn things around. It could be, I help people gain an inner confidence so that they can lead themselves. So it's really about, like, who is it that we want to help, and what is it that would hook them? Like, what is that main problem that they would feel that, yeah, this is it. So the only common factor I can see at the moment is the confidence bit.
Yeah.
But that just might be a coincidence. So for instance, if we just, as an example, like if we did a mission statement where the problem you solve is helping people gain back their confidence.
Yeah.
Would you feel that that's too broad?
Yeah. I'm struggling with confidence, because whilst it is definitely a part of what I do, I'm struggling. There's something going on for me about growth and enabling people to grow, and enabling people to believe in themselves, and recognize that they have value, recognize that they are worthy. It doesn't. I can speak to directors of companies with huge titles, and still there's that. I guess it is confidence. It's self-doubt.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a bit more about what is the actual result here? Because you said that you worked with someone that was, maybe you can recap it for me. You worked with a woman that was struggling with her inner self-confidence, and then you was working with a leader to help him lead his team better.
Yeah, I've got many stories. So the overriding nugget for me is that I would say 80% of the people that I work with, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I'm coaching or whether I am doing some form of facilitation, whether it's resilience, whether it's leadership skills, purpose, values, it always comes down to the ones that gain, the ones that get an outcome, are the ones that have the aha moment about taking responsibility for themselves, about recognizing that they have value through various exercises that I do with them. And there's almost something about through the interaction that I have with them. and by creating an open space and a safe space for them to communicate, they're able to share and they're able to unpack their inner limiting beliefs, barriers, that we then unpack, reframe, and then they get a result of self-belief. I don't know if that's helpful, but I'm just you know, there's one particular person that jumps to mind right now. It's very senior position. I worked with her, and it was all about reframing. It was just about, she had that little niggle saying, you're not worthy, you're not that, you know, who are you? Imposter syndrome stuff. And those are the people that I want to work with. Those are the people that I just want to continue to empower. I want to enable them to go forth and keep doing the best that they can do. And then equally, there are the women that I meet regularly that have had, they've not had a career recently. They've taken a back step because of the kids, because of supporting husband, all those things, and yet they start devaluing themselves as they go along. And I want to be able to reach out to those people to recognize that they have, and this is where my program is, that they are worthy, they have value. I want to completely empower those people, and it's all about thought, which is why this is all a bit fluffy, you know, and it's like I'm trying to find what is the tangible thing that they get. And I guess coming back to the problem, I don't even know that they know that they've got a problem. It's just a feeling that they have. It's a feeling of, maybe I'll just do this because that's where I'm at in life. Maybe this is my lot. They just don't know direction. And there's something about direction for me. They have no clarity about where they're going. They have no understanding of how to clear the fog, set a goal, and move forward. So I want them to have direction, empowerment, and the fluffiness, the feeling of freedom, because I'm in charge of me again. It's getting back to driving your own bus kind of thing. Whew, lots there.
Great. So just something that came to my mind, and let me see how you feel about it. So one way to frame the problem would be that you help people reframe their limiting beliefs.
Nice. And would people know what a limiting belief is? This is the thing, you know.
The ones, it depends on who you're aiming for, who you're targeting, right? Some people are going to be in this space and they're going to know instantly, right?
Yeah.
If they don't, if you feel that, no, I want to work with people like that are right in the beginning, then it would be, you would just say this with a more common, casual language. So I help people change their destructive thoughts, or So, but the core of the thing is the same. Is what you do is that you work with people's thoughts, and you help people relate to them in a more constructive way.
Nice.
And then the result of that, and this is just from what I hear from when you are sharing with me, is that so that they can be empowered, clear and free, or it's there's something about these four things that you seem coming back to, that you want to help people get to a state where they know what they're doing, they have the tools to know what they're doing, they have the direction and the freedom, that they're out of, there's no more boundaries, and they have the confidence to go at it as well.
That direction, that empower, clarity, direction, freeness are like complete drivers for me. Now, whether that is an outcome for another person is the challenge. I tried to Google yesterday on Facebook, sort of groups, but I didn't know what I needed to search because I hadn't clarified this bit. You know how you speak about finding groups of people and sort of understanding what their mission statements are and what they're sharing. So I was struggling because I wasn't sure that I had anything tangible to search for.
I understand.
Yeah.
So this part, reframing limiting beliefs, I would say it like if we kept it like this, then we would probably want the who to be a bit more clear, because limiting beliefs can be so wide, and you can get anything from, well, you know, a business leader to a coach, to anyone pretty much.
Okay.
But if you kept it at this, reframing limiting beliefs, so it could be like, I help, but that's also the issue, right? Like if you want to have an umbrella mission statement, so you can get both the woman struggling with her and the business leader, then maybe it's actually the goal, the result part that should be clearer.
Okay.
So it could be something like, I help people reframe their limiting beliefs so they can set up their goals and execute them, or kind of something like, so they know what they want and they can make it happen.
Yeah. So using language that speaks to both parties, if possible.
I mean, that would kind of be like the main hook for some, like the mission statement. The clarity would be more about the result itself, that this is a space that you can come to if you are struggling with setting up your goals, following up on them, and making sure that you reach them.
I think that's where I need to go, because a lot of what I do is about the goals, and as a coach, that's what we focus on, isn't it? You know, so I was struggling with people because people feels very general, you know, and through all these programs, it's about niche, know exactly who your audience is.
Yeah.
And my net is so wide at the moment.
Yeah, I understand. And that's okay. You know, knowing who your audience is it's extremely important at the back end. So on your side, when people are joining your group or joining your community or coming to you, you'll basically be asking them, like, why did you join and what's stopping you? And that's going to give you a much clearer picture about what your different audiences are, because you're going to get people that are like, I can't overcome the problems in my relationships, and other people are going to be like, I've been trying to start my business for years but I can't do it. So basically what you're going to end up with are like different segments, right? And from there you can either do a signature program for all of them. So kind of like goal setting is what we're all about. That's what we have in common here. We're all looking to learn how to set up our goals, stay accountable, you know, all the things, how to reframe our thoughts, all the things that are included in your methodology, right?
Nice.
And then or you can go into, like, you're going to create one offer for the business people in your audience, or one offer for the people struggling in their relationships. So you have some different options there, and that's
I like that. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But I don't know how to do it. Well, we haven't been able to work out how to do that, because to your credit, very few people are able to be as flexible as you are. You're trying to help me, whereas others are working their program and keep coming back to niche. And I'm getting it. I understand that. But for me, I've got this internal fight about recognizing that the 45-year-old woman can be an exec. So why am I differentiating between those people who are the same problems? I also get that at some point they have different needs, but there's an overlap of what I can offer. So that signature program,
Yeah.
there's an overlap of requirement here.
Right. So this is the thing. The word niche, it just
Mm.
means to specialize.
Yeah.
Right. And then in
Okay.
in marketing terms,
Okay.
when someone says niche, sometimes they mean the audience. Like, yeah, your niche, that's the people you're helping.
Yeah.
For other people, when they're saying the word niche, it's kind of like, this is the problem you solve. Right. Like this, you're specializing in solving this problem. This is your niche.
Got you.
So the concept gets jumbled around. You know, usually I used to use the word niche for the problem, but then the more I got into it, it's more like, no, the niche is like the people you help that have that specific problem.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
with that said, nothing is stopping us from niching down on the result. That the result here is that you're gonna help people to set up their goals and to achieve them.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of the support that I would do would be walking them through getting clarity about their goals, understanding how to set them, supporting them in achieving them, helping them recognize that they can achieve whatever they wish. So that, you know, and thought comes into that. So that limiting belief space of overcoming any limiting beliefs that they have. Brilliant. That is my program. That is actually what I've written.
Yeah.
So yay.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, you know, I just want to throw something out there, and you know,
yeah,
it might be you know, looking at this, it might be a better idea to use this one as the problem.
okay. So
I'm just giving you an example. You know,
yeah.
So I help people set up their goals and achieve them, so they can you know, live with freedom, clarity, and direction, or something like that, like confidence.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
both of these work.
Yeah.
But there's something
Which one works for you? Which one's more solid, more tangible, do you think?
I think this one is better.
Because we know what goals are, don't we?
Yeah, I think this one would hook people more, and you have an emotional component here, so they can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence.
Nice.
Just from my point of view, but you seemed very happy with this one, so this one might be better for you.
Yeah. It's just, so let's just go through that again. So if I say my mission statement for the reframing one is I help people
so
reframe.
this one would be I help people reframe their limiting beliefs so they can set up their goals and achieve them. Now, for the people that are like, oh, I really, really want to set up my goals and achieve them,
Yeah.
then this is what's going to hook them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is also gonna exclude some people, because some people are gonna be like, what is reframing limiting beliefs?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And there's something about this mission statement that is who plus how plus what. It's I help people.
Yeah.
This is how you do it, reframe their limiting beliefs and set up their goals and achieve them. This in itself is more of a problem than a result, because there's a reason people want to set up their goals and achieve them. And that's not being mentioned here.
I don't understand. Just help me understand that. Yeah.
No worries. So if you ask someone, what would you like to have done? Well, I would like to have set up my goals and have achieved them. That's what I want to do. But the problem there is that you can very naturally ask, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to have set up your goals and achieve them? Oh, because that would mean that I had more time with my family. I would be more in alignment with myself, and I would be more, I would just be more happy with how I'm living my life. And that result is more powerful than, so they can set up their goals and achieve them. This is like, from my point of view, there's one step more here.
Okay, got you.
But on the other hand, if we did this one, this is a who plus what plus why, and I think, and this is what I teach you in the program as well. So I help people who, what is it that you help them to do? You said you help them set up their goals and achieve them, and that's more tangible. And why is that important? Why is it important to set up your goals and achieve them? Why do you want to do that? So they can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence. And this would be more of an emotional hook that would be more in alignment with the why.
And can I just ask a question that completely makes sense? So that why section, because I'm hooked on the word empower, what you've got there is so that they can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence. And live is an action, isn't it? It's like, it's a being, it's an, we know. But if I said feel empower, that's too fluffy, perhaps?
It depends on your market. It depends on the people you help, because this is the point. If you have a group, if you have a community where people gather up to talk about how to set up their goals and achieve them, if you have that, and you're asking them, why did you enter this group? Why did you come here? Why do you want to set up your goals and achieve them? So they're going to give you a reply to that. And that reply should be as close as possible to this sentence. Okay. So it's just I'm just making a guess here that people would say, if I was able to set up my goals and achieve them, that would mean that I had more freedom in my life, more clarity, and I would be able to live with more confidence, something like that. Right? And I'm just working off the hypothesis that we are starting off here with.
Sure.
But I would advise you also to stay flexible, and as you are asking people that are entering your community, why do you want to set up and achieve your goals? And people keep saying, because that would make me a success, or because that would mean that I have achieved in life, or then you're kind of you're getting a language here that maybe it's so they can achieve what they have been dreaming of, so they can achieve their dreams or something like that.
You're making me excited, because I am about goals. It's actually, I've just the last email I've just written was somebody giving me some feedback on my program, and she said your goals section is fabulous. And I said, but that's the thing, that is why I got into what I'm doing, because I recognized how important it is to be able to have that, know where you're going and know the why you want to achieve it. So it's all about that. So this is, you know what, I didn't even have the word goal in the beginning. So it is a tangible thing for me to hold on to. I've been so caught up on a feeling, and I couldn't work out. The steps included goals. It's interesting. Okay, so where are we at then? This is good.
Great. That's a good thing. So you don't have to say I help people. You can say I empower people.
Yay! Thank you. That's what's missing.
Okay.
Yes, that's what's missing. Thank you.
Perfect.
Oh, you're amazing. Right. I empower people to set up their goals and achieve them so that they can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence.
How does that feel?
It feels good. I think the back end is still, you did use the word success, and I did wonder if I should nick that.
It depends. If you're happy with this is a great start, and this is an evolutionary process. This is going to change until it stabilizes. But I think you're I think this is clear enough. Set up their
Yeah.
goals and achieve them. So
Okay.
this is a community for people that want to set up their goals and achieve them. This is what they're going to talk about.
Brilliant.
And then I would make the group mission, like, we are on a mission to set up our goals and achieve them so we can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence, for instance.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah, that's good. We are on a mission to set up our goals and achieve them so we can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence. Fab. So that would be the group mission.
Yeah.
And
So,
then you have your questions. You have your 3 questions that you set up. So why do you want to achieve your goals, for example? What's important about that? How would you like to feel? Actually, could be a question when you've achieved them.
Yeah. So why is it important for you to set up and achieve your goals? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then people are going to give you the answer, and that's what you can use to adjust this part.
Which part? Yeah.
The result, right?
Yeah. That's great. Okay. Well, that was easy. Where have you been all my life?
Great.
Okay, that's really good. Thank you. Yeah.
So the next part is then, if someone asks you, well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, what's your methodology? And just from what I picked up here, we're dealing with 2 things. It's about figuring out your big why, and about being able to reframe your limiting beliefs.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm sure you have more of your methodology there, but we're starting to get an outline here for what does your course look like at the moment? What is it that it helps them with?
What does it help them with? Well, that's just an interesting question. What does it help them with? It helps them with clarity about taking responsibility for themselves, their thoughts, acknowledging strengths that they have within themselves, understanding their drivers within their value system. It also helps them understand. I go a lot into the thought process and the cycle of behaviors, outputs of thoughts, feelings, etc. Goals, what they get from it is to visualize, to dream, permission to just go out there, go as big as you want, and then we chunk it down to small baby steps, so that they're absolutely, their first 3 steps to move forward, and why they're doing it, connecting with their why. And then I sort of wrap up with, for me, it's quite important, and it's interesting what I've heard from you. I started with wanting to, this is where the empower comes in, empower them to not have to feel that they have to be with me all the time. Now, that doesn't make sales sense, listening to you and to others, but I wanted them to feel that they had enough tools and techniques that they could keep growing on their own. So we talk about well-being, and I talk about fueling their fire to sustain themselves as their journey continues, as they walk towards their new goal, their new life. So it's sort of reflection, it's where am I now, let's look future, and how can I continue to go into the future.
Okay. Great. So there's definitely nothing wrong with helping people become self-reliant, and and we also want people to be self-reliant. Like if that's your end goal, is you want to work towards a world where everyone is self-reliant, then that's your goal. And if someone is self-reliant, that great. Well, then let me focus on the next person then that isn't self-reliant yet. So you can definitely have that in your message. We don't want people to have the problem that we solve, otherwise that would defeat the whole purpose. we just want to be clear as soon as possible if they have the problem we solve, and if they don't, awesome. If they do,
Yeah.
awesome, because then we can
Yeah.
help them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in your message, you can don't hold back on trying to help people become self-reliant so they don't need you anymore. So you can talk about like how wonderful it is to never have to hire a coach ever again, and never having to always be able to solve your own problems. But until you're there, you need the help, of course. That's like
Nice.
pure matter of definition, right? So
yeah.
So that you help people uh, be the last person they're going to hire, right? So like, I'm going to be your last coach.
Nice. Yeah, because the thing is, if you make that impact, isn't it, they ironically come back to you anyway.
Yeah. And that's okay. You don't
when
even
their next goal is there.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to. It's okay. You can just focus on providing the value and not, like staying in that scarcity mindset. Well, how am I going to get them to come back? So it's just let the abundance shine through, and you're going to help more people at a higher level. Trust me, you're not going to run out of people that need help. Trust me.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay. So I know, do you feel clear about your mission and the problem?
Yes, I think I do. So the mission is all about the goals and helping people achieve that. And the problem that I'm helping them with, I believe, is the clarity of where they're going. Is that where I'm at?
I would say that the problem is
the limiting belief, isn't it?
No, it's this one.
I'm okay. I'm good. That's fine. Okay.
No worries. So the big problem that you solve is that you help people that haven't set up their goals and they don't know how to achieve them, right? So people you typically work with people that are unclear about their goals. They don't know how to set them up, how to follow them through, how to make sure that they achieve them. That's the problem that you solve. That's who you work with, people that are struggling with this, people that need help with this. You have a community for people to help each other set up their goals and achieve them. That's where people can find you. This is your zone of influence.
Got you.
Okay,
got
great.
you. Yes, I am clear on that one.
And the mission statement is that why are you doing this? Well, it's because you want to help people live with freedom, clarity, and confidence. And then in the program, you want to definitely have an origin story or some sort of story that explains why this is so important, not just for them, but for you. So that people can see like, oh, she's really in this. There's a reason she wants to help me live with freedom, clarity, and confidence, other than just wanting my money, right? There's a deeper emotional thing here. And that's what makes, when it's important for you, it becomes important for your audience. So it's a reflection kind of thing.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that story. That's banging where I'm at. Yeah.
Perfect. So
are you sending this to me?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
So this second part, this is the mission statement. I empower people to set up their goals and achieve them so they can live with freedom, clarity, and confidence.
Yeah.
And then I have just broken it down for you. If someone asks you, well, who do you empower? Well, people in general. If you have this problem that you're struggling with your goals and achieve them, then I help you. So I can help with business leaders. I can help with stay-at-home moms, etc. If you have this problem that you want to set up your goals and achieve them, we should talk. And why should I work with you? Why is that important? Why should that be important for me? Well, because when you set up your goals and achieve them, you can actually live with more freedom, clarity, and confidence, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some people are going to get that immediately, and other people are going to be like, why is it so important to set up your goals and achieve them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. I get
Yeah.
that.
And then if the conversation continues, well, how do you do that? Then you can, that conversation can take some different routes.
Yeah.
Like you can say, well, who I typically work with, we work on figuring out their big why,
Yeah.
and reframing their limiting beliefs and something else, and we can get into that.
Yeah.
And I typically work with people at 3 levels. I have my free community that you can come join me with, hundreds or thousands, whatever it ends up being, other people that want to set up and achieve their goals. I also have a signature program. I have my course, and I also work with people one-on-one. So or however you do it, if you do it. So
Yeah.
so you're giving people the methodology when they're
Yeah.
asking. So when they're asking you, how do you do this, you're giving people the methodology, who you typically work with, what you specialize in, and what that looks like for them. Like, yeah, so I can help you at these different levels. So or if you are, let's say you start talking on stage or you start doing workshops, then you can mention that as well. So
Brilliant.
yeah, so we go from the most important, which is the mission, and then when people want the details, we start explaining our methodology, and then finally how they can take the next step.
Okay.
That's usually how the conversation.
That makes it so simple, David.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that's the point. So I would definitely work on this one as well.
Yeah.
This is when I asked you what your course helps them with.
Yeah.
So in the program that you're in, I try to help you think about it a bit more structured, in such a way that we divide it up into, so we have a transformation. So the transformation you have is that you help people from having no goal and not knowing how to achieve it, and not having like the internal tools to make it happen, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then when they go through the transformation, after they come out of working with you, they're going to have their big why, they're going to have their mindset right, and they're going to have the habits in place, for instance, to actually reach their goals.
Yeah. Nice.
So in that way, you can share with people then, okay, so this is Jane. I met her 2 months ago. She had no clue what she wanted to do, how to do it, and she had a lot of mind blocks. Then working with me in my program for 2 months, we figured out that she wanted to start her own business. And here she is now, 2 months later. Here's a picture of her just starting her own business, and she has her habits in place, and look at her, look at how happy she is. Do you want to go through this transformation as well? Give me a call and we'll take it from there. So that's usually how the marketing works, right? So for us to do that, we need to niche down. We need to kind of categorize what that transformation looks like.
Okay.
So I right now, I just gave you an example. So it would be to help you to set up and achieve your goals.
Yeah.
And tell me if I'm going too fast.
No, this is brilliant. This is because I did all this yesterday through your videos, so that I could be ahead for our catch up. Yes, I'm with you. I'm completely with you.
Okay, great. So basically, what you're doing when you are explaining what your course is about, etc. And now I know you have already created it, but who knows? Maybe you can adapt it, right? So if someone asks you, what does your course help me with? Then you can say, well, the purpose of this course is to help you to set up and achieve your goals. So I'm going to take you through a transformation where we first figure out your why. Then we set up your mindset for success.
Yeah.
And finally, we instill the habits to achieve your goal.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have divided up this transformation into the 3 phases. So then when you go to your audience, you always have the same message. So you can say, to set up and achieve your goals, first you have to understand what is your goal, and there you want to have your big why. We all have a big why, so we really have to figure that out first. So once you have your big why, everything else is going to be much easier. But until we get your big why figured out, nothing is going to work. Next, once you have your big why, because a lot of people have their big why, but they stop themselves. They have problems with their thoughts about themselves, thoughts about the world, thoughts about other people, etc. They have limiting beliefs, whether they know it or not. Their mindset isn't set up to achieve this big why. So that's the next thing we focus on. So after you go through the first phase with me in my program, you're going to have your big why. Then once we have gone through the second phase, then you're going to have your mindset in order. And once you have your mindset in order, it's all about creating new, helpful, constructive habits that will systematically take you to your goal. So that's the third phase. That's what we focus on last, setting up your habit plan, or something sounds a bit more tangible, right? So working with me, you're going to end up with your big why, you're going to have your mindset in order for success, and you're going to have your habits in place, and all this is going to result that you have set up your goals and that you have actually achieved them. And if you don't believe me, here's Jane, Joe, Patrick, and blah blah blah, and look at their stories. Look what we achieved in this amount of time. So if you are interested in working with me, let's get on a call, or jump into my course, and we'll get started.
Brilliant. Blimey, that is so good. And I've got habits in my workshop anyway, so that
perfect. I guess because they are so important.
Oh goodness. Okay. So that's the discussion around the transformation that they will go through, and then the 3 stages that are included in the transformation as a result of the course.
Exactly. And it's not just your course. It's whether you work with someone one-on-one, if you write a book, if you do a workshop, you always have your signature method. And that's something that I explain inside the program as well. So you want to have your signature method that breaks down the transformation into these different phases, where they end up with something tangible. So it's easy to show people afterwards your success stories.
Yeah.
Because if you're just like, after going through this phase, you're going to have confidence.
Yeah.
And then and then you basically have to show people, it's not as tangible as like, after going through this phase, you're going to have your plan manifesto, like you're going to have your goals written down in your paper or something like that. And then you can show up a picture of someone, or share a story of one of your students, how they were struggling before they had written down their goals, and then like a picture of them holding their paper or something, and this is what I'll help you. We're gonna create your own goal manifesto, for instance.
So that makes so much sense. So it's the whole power of 3 that you're using, isn't it? Which is fabulous. You do it so well. So if you have that transformation, what did you call it?
Signature method.
Signature method. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Then you've got your 3 outcomes, your 3 areas, and then within the why, for example, so the 1 outcome, you could break that down into further 3.
Exactly. That's how
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I explain as well. And they're all in terms of mini transformations. Like you have one big transformation. In the beginning, you have no goal and you can't achieve them. At the end of that transformation, you have your goals and you can achieve them. Okay, what 3 smaller transformations do you have to go through in order to? So, there are no big problems in life. There's just a series of smaller problems amounted, right? So, it's the same thing. We just keep breaking it down until it becomes like action steps, pretty much.
Yeah, love that. Really, really useful. Wow, thank you. This is good. I feel like I've achieved so much.
Yeah. I think we went a bit further than what we decided. To be a constructive call. Yeah. So, but we still have 10 more minutes. If you have any other questions or something you would like to just.
I do have some questions, if you don't mind. Slightly off piece, but within your program. At some point, you asked us on introduction, because I've only been on your program days, and I'm so excited about it. So at some point, you asked us to share our page our Facebook page. My question to you is, so that you introduce yourself and then share your page.
Your group. You should share your group. I don't think I've asked you to share your page.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Yeah.
that's my language.
No worries. No, just make sure to not confuse the three. We have the Facebook profile. That's your regular, and then you have your Facebook group, and then you have your Facebook page. But the page is kind of like we just try to put any sort of energy into it. It's just it just doesn't give us any results putting energy into that. So we just do the bare minimum there.
Okay, so I haven't shared anything into the group yet. And I don't have a group yet.
Yeah.
So my question, I guess, is, do I go ahead, create a group, and that's what I'm sharing with your group, or is that what you're asking?
So there are different challenges, and you're free to share whatever you want. This is very, if you feel it helps you. The point here is to help you stay somewhat accountable, and also to give you an opportunity to kind of like, how would I present my mission? How would I present my group? How would I invite people to my group? And to start practicing that, because you're going to do that, generally speaking as well, right?
Yeah. Okay. I think you've covered it all, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've absolutely nailed it. I had lots of things going on there. But I think you've absolutely nailed it. So having clarity about missions, having clarity about the problem, knowing what my group mission could look like, and understanding more about the transformation, that is really, really helpful. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Yeah, it's really, that's one of the biggest differences in having a course that works and a course that just explodes, and you can help a lot more people, and make more money in the process as well, because you're not framing it as information, you're framing it as a transformation. Like you're at this position when you enter the course, you're at this position when you go out of the course. So what you're getting here is not information. I have done my absolute best to keep this as short as possible. I try to remove all the extra features. I just cut the fat and just stick with the meat, right?
Yeah.
And while everyone else is doing the opposite, they're like, yeah, you're going to get 200 hours of content, and you're going to get these features and these bonuses, etc. And you lose track of what matters, the outcome, right? Like, people don't enter a course to enter a course. They want a result. So we want to keep the conversation focused on that. Yeah.
I think that was the one of the things that completely jumped out, because I am bored with all those other these sales things where you get this, you get that, and then you add that. And
Yeah.
So this is refreshing, and I love your approach. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Ingrid. I'm glad we ended up clear about your mission statement, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
Oh, be careful! Watch your back.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
All right, Dave. Are you able to share that little Word document with me, just in the raw form that it's in?
Actually, I can do it right now. So,
you're a star.
Let's see here. So I think restricted, only people can open with this link. Yeah. Okay. Let me know if it works right away. We're gonna stop sharing. We're gonna send it in the chat. I think you should be able to see that now.
I've got the chat on Facebook open.
Oh, okay. I can send it.
Which chat are you talking about?
No,
I see. Sorry. No, my bad. Hold on. Oh, where are you going?
I'll send it to you on.
Sorry, that's my bad.
No worries.
Facebook. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So you can just click File, make copy, and then you can start editing it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now you can only read it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've used Google Docs. Okay. Right. Cool.
Great.
You'll get an email letting you know that your request was approved. Fine. Thank you. Thank you, David.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Ingrid. And
all right.
I'll probably share this today or tomorrow or something like that.
Fine. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
You too. Take care, Ingrid. Have a good day.
All right. Have a good one. You too. Bye.
Bye bye.